drift into some positive vibes, a positive mindset right now with the compliments of the NTI. Sluggy Dan is on the inside and the team is in here as well. Big up to you for keeping the lock. Sluggy, what's going on, fam?
Manners, respect. First and first, I got big up Nicole Hollingsworth when they come here. Somebody give me a new backpack and books and a art book and all kind of thing for a little girl noise.
I was telling myself that Sluggy buying real pretty today, but I didn't say anything.
So big up Nicole Hollingsworth, big up yourself to come and see a name on the bag and that books and thing. I just love it. Been able to do this. You don't know who the person is, but nothing but love and respect, and I really, really appreciate it all being part of the movement. You know what I mean? Having not even knowing who I am, just part of the movement. I really, really appreciate that. Big up Barbara. Still got big up Mr. Gittings too. Still got big up Dr. Yvonne Weeks. Still got big up people like Alvin Topping. Still a number of persons who always reach out. You know, big up Judy. Big up Ryan. You know what I mean? Big up my boy Ryan Hunt when he also locked on too. Is figuring all the different people that's call or reach out or message and support the movement in some way. You know what I mean? Really, really appreciate it. And I love when the communities do it too. Big up Brereton, St. Philip.
Yo, big vibes up there. That's this weekend, right?
Yeah, correct. Then tell me the locked on next weekend too. Them always got Santa there, but I love that. Tell me the locked on, the loving message, the pushing the positive movement, the all about peace. You know what I mean? We need to spread the peace and love around. NTI.org.bb. NTI.org.bb. Over 5,000 free courses. Over 5,000 free courses. Today we have a special guest. And I know if it happened by design, you know, but today you hear a lot of craziness on the radio. You wasn't hearing the news play. You're hearing nothing but craziness on the news, you know, things that I can't even begin to understand, like how like these things can happen. You know, so it's good that we have someone like you on the inside, you know, can help us to answer some questions for us.
No problem.
Thank you. Scott, introduce Barbara to the next guest, please, and make sure you turn up her microphone.
Her microphone is up.
Well, you know she does.
We can go push it down to get to her properly.
Right.
But today in Chile we have Christa Soleyn.
Good.
She's a practicing.
Because he insinuating that I'm short, I'm fun size.
No, I meant that your voice is kind of quiet.
Not
You never
mine.
said you were
Not
short.
mine. Not
Why
mine.
barely edging you out, but
Not
anyhow,
mine. Don't worry,
Christa.
I'll be loud, don't worry.
Christa Soleyn is a
Yes.
practicing and registered clinical psychologist. Through her practice, Soleyn Psychology Services, she works with clients experiencing a range of challenges, including trauma, grief, anxiety, and depression. She also provides support for personal development and general wellness. Christa believes everyone should have a safe space for growth, healing, and working through life's difficulties, and she is committed to providing this for her clients. Along with her private practice, Christa is part of the employee assistance programs for medium to large scale companies in Barbados and is an intervention specialist with NGOs working with at-risk populations. She's a local and international trainer in the areas of burnout, team building, self-care, and stress management. In her free time, Christa enjoys family beach days and laughing until her face hurts. She has two mantras that guide her life. One, be kind to self and others. Two, we don't lose, we win or learn. Big up to you, Christa. Welcome inside.
Thank you.
Yes, and this week, you know, we're dealing with self-management as a skill, including but not limited to taking care of one's well-being, time management, and stress management with practicing and registered clinical psychologist, Christa. Christa, good evening. Thanks for coming on Midweek Mindset. Before we start, everything good?
Yes,
Well,
everything's good.
Everything good. Nothing wasn't too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too hectic.
No, there's some things I'm a little upset about today, but we're gonna focus on our
You
topic.
can't be upset. You can't be upset as yet. No. Self-management. What does self-management entail? You know, we hear that a lot here. Like, you gotta love yourself. I love myself. You know, big up right. You know, we hear the things that as taglines. You know, cliche lines. But truly, what does self-management entail? How deep does it go?
It's understanding yourself and being able to control yourself and your emotions. It's things like stress management, anger management, self-care, and recognizing if I want to change my life, if I want to feel better and do better, it has to start with me. I can't always say, it's this person's job and that person's job. I need to have my non-negotiable time to focus on me. And it sounds easy, but it's extremely, extremely difficult. And it means you have set boundaries with work and with people and
With work?
yes. work,
You
people,
encourage,
everything.
you encourage people to set boundaries to work.
Yes, you have to set boundaries with work.
No, Scott at work, no, so I ain't no afraid want that.
I would like her to take it further. Please teach me. I'm willing to learn. It's all about upgrading your mindset, Sluggy.
No, but they like how explain to me when you say set boundaries at work.
All right.
How do you do that without fear of some sort of victimization
Or seeming insubordinate, as they like to say.
But listen, you
oppressive conduct?
have a simple things.
Yes, please.
You go on lunch hour, right?
Yes.
And somebody says to you, listen, I want you to work through your lunch hour.
Yeah, the company, if you benefit the company.
Right, the company making money,
Mhm.
and you hungry, and you lightheaded, and you resentful, and you get miserable because we get angry when we don't eat. And it's saying, no, I have to take care of myself. I have to have lunch. I need to make sure when I finish work, I rest before anybody else puts anything else on me. And it's saying, there is a point in time where I have to put myself as a priority, and we don't do that enough. We don't do it enough. We're not taking care of ourselves like we should either.
Wow. Walking up some things, Hot 95.3 FM. Midweek mindset. Christa starting hard. If when at work listening, when at work tuning, she said to make sure you set boundaries in the workplace as well. And that seemed fair. But these things they think will help optimize, or maximize work. Maximize how much work we get to do, maximize how much work we get done.
Productivity and
Yeah,
things.
maximize on productivity. These things are absolutely help. We're talking about self-care. People's for men, especially, things like self-care, these conversations that we don't really have, especially with young boys, when it comes to self-care. How can we broach the conversation? You saw that you are an intervention specialist. How can we, and a lot of intervention needed in Barbados, especially between those that warn and condolences to all your families that lost loved ones, all this week. How do you broach these conversations, man? Teaching young boys about self-care and time management with these simple things that it's so hard for us to grasp. It's so hard to tell boys that care of themselves. That many want to hear that. They're getting all out, full gas. That would be the terminal on the street. It's called like full gas, no brakes. Them things I guess here.
Well, this is the thing. We have to change a mindset. This ain't easy, There's the mindset of boys can't feel. You're not supposed to feel anything. You're not supposed to feel any emotions, right? So something, exactly. So something bad has happened. You went to cry, just man up and keep moving.
Yeah.
And so we're burying a lot of our feelings. And guess what happened? Somebody passed and brushed you. And it's not that you necessarily this real big angry person. All those feelings, the grief, everything that's been happening, all bottled up. In psychology, we say we repress it. And one trigger happens, and all those emotions, we're expecting our boys to be able to deal with them. And we're not teaching them coping skills. We're not teaching them it's okay to say, I'm not doing okay today. It's okay to say, all right now I need a pause. I need to go to the beach. I need to go do something for myself. So it starts with a whole mindset shift. And for people like you to also say, you know what, it's okay. There got days where I ain't feeling myself and I need to take a break. And so there's also a big role for males like yourself, older males like yourself, even for females, to encourage our boys to that it's okay if you're upset. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to have all these emotions instead of burying them and then one trigger and then we blast. And the problem is we accept anger in boys, but we don't accept disappointment or sadness. So when a boy is angry,
that's true.
Yeah.
Let me think about it. That's not true.
If you see an angry boy, you're like, boys to be boys, he
that's
just
cool. Don't nickname.
But when he upset now,
or too sad,
or too sad,
too girly,
exactly.
deal with that.
We
Boy,
got to change our mindset.
A bit too soft.
Exactly.
You, Christa, you right?
I know.
You be like we call it you outside a little man being vexed. What the hell we wanna do on that? So boy, but if he said, it's his feet bad and feet hurt. Can't take that from the lower.
Yeah.
Especially if you on the road, especially on the block. You can't count with that boy, that too soft. and girly, but you're saying that no, it's not. That is normal because if you could express one, you would express the other.
Express all of them. So the way we teach boys to express themselves has to change. It has to change.
Yeah.
And so that's self-management as well. Just knowing how to regulate your emotions. So understanding when it comes to mental health, it's all hands on deck, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only me, the mental health professional. I don't got the reach that you have. And so all hands on deck when it comes to talking to people about taking care of their mental health, taking care of themselves, setting boundaries with people, even toxic family members, all those different things. You have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Can't pour from an empty cup. It sounds cliche, but if I am not taking care of myself, I'm going to start being resentful to work, to family, to friends, to everybody, and just be upset all the time.
You're saying that these things lead to resentment. Then you can understand why you used to be so okay at being angry and so okay at expressing that form of emotion, and you don't mind being angry or violent. I can not understand why you will feel like that.
But even as simple as asking somebody, how are you feeling? How do you feel? You know, sometimes it's difficult just to pause and to say, well, it's either I good or I bad. But no, like, what do you feel? I feel disappointed, I feel frustrated, I feel betrayed. Even the language to express ourselves sometimes become a challenge, right? And so we want to be able to have the language for it, to say, it's okay if I need to take care of myself. One of the things I always advise is every day, an hour, non-negotiable hour for yourself. Nobody else.
A whole hour?
A whole hour. You have
My
all
Fitbit
this
is telling me
time.
to take 5 minutes.
No, you need an hour for yourself. Exercise, watch TV.
Because you got me go on a little bit, like
You got
like you said, a whole hour?
Yes.
you got over long, when you say all for
That's enough time
yourself,
for
you don't
you.
mean that's lazy around, you know.
No, you choose. You choose what
Go
self-care.
listen, you go.
Right. You choose what self-care activity you want to
Yes.
do. Right.
Uh-huh.
So days where things are busy and I can go to the beach, I can go to the beach. Or I could go and say, you know what, I'm watching a show. Right? Like things like that. You decide, because self-care looks different for everybody, right?
Very hectic, girl.
I know. And
So
even if
whatever
you
you
need to
love.
break it, whatever it is, even if you need to break it down into 2 half an hours,
Nice.
just say in the morning, I am going to do this for me.
Right.
And how you start your mornings matter too.
And before you go on, you saying that there's a must. You saying that
got
you
to
as
do
a
it.
clinical psychologist,
I got to do
you're
it.
saying there's something that you are saying that not we should or we
No,
could.
you must do
You're
it.
saying
You must
there's
do
a
it.
must. Go
This
ahead.
because we have to form healthy habits. We can't give, like, mental health almost come like lip service. It just, you know, but we have to practice good mental health, and it means changing how we're doing things,
Well,
right? And when
we
we talk about mental health, we also talk about mental illness. And that's not it. It's wellness that we need to talk about. How do we make sure that we're taking care of ourselves? If you don't have that non-negotiable hour, you can work, deal with children, deal with this thing and that thing, and you ain't gonna have time. By the time you look, it's a month and you ain't do one thing for yourself.
Yes, it was World
You said
Mental
Mental
Health
Health Day,
Day.
yes.
Right.
Yeah, she said the month Scott so this boy everyone say it. I will put it out.
That's the last time you did something for yourself, so I gave you one shot.
Yes, I was gonna ask. I'm glad you asked.
Just for me, only me?
Just for you.
Probably like 2017. Yeah, probably 2017 something like, but you know, I think it's folly too. I don't know, because like I started to spend a lot of time overseas and I was still find that it's still not be doing that for myself.
Just working.
Yes, and I don't go overseas and work and get a job and still every day we work. So every day I ain't know. And like I'm nice, I won't say that I'm nice. You know, like picky, like everybody know picky, but you still don't know what it is. But you're saying that it's not, you should or you could consider. You're saying it is a must.
Make it mandatory for yourself.
But and you're talking about the resentment in boys, but what not doing this? What not doing things like this? Spreading messages like this, having our people thinking of things like this. What can happen or what is the worst that can happen when if you don't take advice like this? Because you mentioned lip service, right? And I fully support you on that.
Yeah.
And then it seems like it's just be lip service. And you explain when we talk about mental health, we only mention the illness, but you're saying we should be speaking about mental health. I mean, like, people like they be like, sir, we don't get down this deep. We don't get out to the nitty gritty. What can happen if we don't take advice like this? And I haven't seen personally, I haven't seen professionally.
Yeah,
no problem. Need to be aware for everybody to hear. What can happen if we don't take advice like this? If we don't say, you know what, every day. You said every day.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that this saying that I gotta be consistent.
Yes, because
It
I want
has to
to
be a
build a
reason.
habit. You want to build a
Yeah.
habit.
Mhm.
So you don't want to be, oh gosh, what are you gonna do today for mental health? It's gonna feel at first, oh, I gotta plan it. But then what I
Yeah.
want for you
Make it
is in a
routine.
month. Like there's a routine.
Because
Okay, I get up in the morning. All
Mhm.
right, what we're using my half an hour this
Mhm.
morning for and half an hour in the evening. But
Try
what
and
can
stop
happen
one.
if you don't? Burnout. So let's start with burnout, right? So burnout is you're constantly working, constantly stressed out
Mhm.
to the point, this is the part that's frightened me, to the point that it feels like this is just what life is.
Mm.
So people experience burnout
Going through the motions.
and they don't realize that this is not normal.
Mhm.
So you realize you're extremely negative.
Yeah.
You realize that you're always feeling extremely drained.
Mhm.
You used to love your job and then all of a sudden
I ain't really book this no more.
I ain't really about this anymore,
Mhm.
right? The passion and everything is gone. Burnout, when we talk about long term, we're leading to things like depression as
Mhm.
well. Because now it's like, what was the point, right? But then you also have stress, which can then lead to things like anxiety as well.
Mhm.
We talk about also being extremely tired. So imagine, I'm talking about mental illness, but just imagine you're not taking a break.
Mhm.
You are extremely tired and depleted.
Mhm.
You cannot give time to the spaces that matter. So your children, your partners, your
Mhm.
friends, things like that. So the things that should be feeding your soul, you're losing out on those things as well. So relationships start to break down, all those other things. So you have to see self-care. There's a quote that I like. Self-care is giving the world the best of me instead of what's left of me.
Say that one more time.
Self-care is giving the world the best of me instead of what's left of me.
Yeah.
And the mindset is, I cannot fuel the spaces that bring me joy if I am exhausted.
Yeah.
I cannot enjoy my life. And I want us to start thinking about what keeps us fulfilled, what keeps us happy. Because when we're not taking the breaks, I'm talking about when you're not thinking about what makes you happy, then you're just in this funk.
Mhm.
You're just kind of stuck in this negative mindset. And so this is why that non-negotiable time becomes really important.
Two things, Christa. First of all, I wanted to expand a little bit on anxiety because
Yeah.
that's a word we hear a lot too.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't really understand what it is.
Yeah.
And the second thing, there are some people who so deep in the funk that, like you said, they don't even realize them in the funk.
Mhm.
So what's your first step?
So we got hard. These clothes that were hard.
Yeah,
Like me, I can talk myself, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sure a lot of people like me. They got a reason why some people love me. That mean a lot of people just like me. You know what I mean?
Relatable.
Right, and it's just tell myself, man, listen, it's full 100, not
Mhm.
all in. Like, you got a goal you want to meet, you got a goal, you got set for yourself, you got a place where you want to be, and then the pressure of some of young people looking up to you, you want to get there so that they can look up to you when you get there, so they don't want to be drug men or the gun men or the bar boys. So you, this man make it too.
Mhm.
So you got this person thing to myself and just working, but it sounds to me like you saying that if we do that, it will not reach my full potential.
Right, so you want to increase productivity, and the only way to do that is if you're rested, if you're not resentful, if you're at your prime. Think about this.
Yeah.
When you are extremely stressed out,
But listen to me, right? Listen to me,
Can
right? Before
you
you continue,
function?
right? Before you continue, right? You want to know these things you saying real quick right here? These things are things that all the time myself, you know, you be like
You always stressed like
and like you need a therapy session. I don't know if you stressed because you fairly doing cares, but I always
I feel like you're so deep in the phone that you don't know you're in the phone, which is why I was asking.
it could be that because I just feel like man, it don't be complaining to be honest. I love it, but I still feel like alright, still gonna go a little more and get there, spaghetti.
but this is the thing, the momentum and the push that you need to go a little more comes with rest, relaxation, and almost thinking a little more about your
Not
purpose.
feeling guilty.
If you are exhausted, you can't plan properly, you're not enjoying the things that you're doing. And remember, we talk about resentment. You don't want to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
resenting the things that you love.
Yeah.
Also, people watching you, so you gotta teach self-care. So when we're done, we can talk about self-care plan after this session
Yes.
and
Alright.
building a self-care
Don't want
plan.
to resent the things that you love.
Exactly, and you will if you're burnt out.
You don't want to
anxiety.
resent the
Right.
things
Break
that
that
you
down for
love.
us a little
Yeah,
bit.
please.
Alright, I wanna start by saying that anxiety is actually not a bad thing, right? So on the offset, right? Anxiety pushes us, right? And so when you have to public speak, your heart race a little bit, that's good anxiety, right? But now we get to a stage where, okay, well, we're having some challenges now. So it may be you're sweating a lot, you realize your heart racing a lot, you're not able to function, you're trembling, you're not sleeping well, those things. So there's a difference between anxiety, the emotion, and anxiety, the disorder.
Wow.
Okay, so all of us
very
feel
good.
anxious,
Mhm.
but it doesn't mean that we necessarily have a disorder. And when we talk about anxiety disorders, there's generalized anxiety disorder, you have social phobias, those types of things. But all of us can feel anxious. Now, when it comes to a point that you're constantly triggered, you're constantly feeling anxious, then you're opening up yourself to physical challenges because anxiety affects the body. And you're also opening up yourself to, okay, can this then turn into something like a generalized anxiety disorder? All right, but remember, it's two different things. Not because you feel anxious mean you have an anxiety disorder, okay? So that's the first thing. But anxiety is really saying to your body, okay, it's time to calm down. Because a lot of these mental health challenges that we're talking about, your body tells you, something is up. And I got two sets of people in the world. The ones are in Barbados, the ones who gas tank empty and in St. Lucie and say could go to the airport and back, and the ones at half tank and say, I going to the gas station.
Yeah.
So your body is like that gas tank, right? And so it's saying to you, all right, you got a headache right now, you're realizing getting muscle tension, all different things, and you come and work on the people radio, and then you're going home and working again, and you're not taking a rest. You're not relaxing, you're not saying, okay, I have a headache now, you know what, I just need to rest and let me go again tomorrow. Right? So we have to also be in tune with our bodies. Our bodies tell us, okay, something is happening, let me deal with this. And if your shoulder hurting, get somebody to rub it for you, or you put an ice pack or whatever. You also have to treat the physical symptoms that you're feeling as well.
Listen to me right. Girl, you opening up some doors here today.
I hope so.
I tell you more certainly a lot of things many persons don't study. Because we always feel that if you're in a rat race, so let me not feel it. If you're in a rat race, and then when you saying these things should be mandatory, it's non-negotiable that you do this. Make sure there are thousands of people that never even consider slowing down.
Try it for a month. We want to build a habit. Try it for a month. Half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening, doing something for yourself.
You need it to maximize potential. Here you speak about coping mechanisms, right? You want to further speak about self-care before we finish, and here you mentioned coping mechanisms earlier. Can you speak about coping mechanisms and why learning these things are important?
Right, so let's start with healthy coping mechanisms, because there are things that can help you to cope that may not necessarily be healthy in the long run, right? So what we want to look at is what helps you.
Listen, say that again.
There's some coping mechanisms that are unhealthy. Right. Right, because then you become dependent.
All the rum drinkers out there, don't turn the radio. This is truth. Don't turn the radio. Listen in. Go on, man.
But this is the thing, right? Alcohol affects our brain chemistry, right?
Yes, I agree.
So if every moment of the day we drinking, we're not coping. We're not building coping skills. So alcohol is a way to cope, but it is not healthy. So that's why
of an avoidance technique.
exactly you're avoiding it. You're trying to numb what you're experiencing. It's you go to a party, you have a drink, okay, but every single day we got a problem.
Yeah.
Every time you have a challenge, it's the first thing you go to. We have a problem, and so we want to have some healthy coping skills. Now the thing about it, the beauty of it, is my coping skill may not be yours, and so you have to be willing to try what could work. For some people, journaling works. For some people, music works. But really just saying, well, when I'm stressed out, what do I need? And I found in my practice as well, many people just sitting somewhere in nature helps. Barbados is absolutely beautiful. Find a spot that you like, and you just sit, you just chill. You could be around positive people, which is a good coping skill. If you have a friend who you find, uplifts your spirit, you spend some time with your friend, trying something new, getting out of your comfort zone. And it doesn't always have to be money, related to money, something you pay for. You could go try something new that you want to do. You could, it could be, if you're talented, you could get into art and things like that. but just channeling your energy into something that makes you happy. And one of the challenges with this is a lot of people don't actually know what makes them happy. Could tell you everything that makes you upset. And so my question for those listening is, what makes you truly happy? Don't tell me money.
That isn't damaging in the long run.
Right, that isn't damaging. Don't let's go to the big things. I want to win $1 million. I mean it seriously. What do you have in your life? Something small that just makes you happy, that you like doing, right? And then we start to find joy in small things. Something that just, I went to a baby shower recently and I saw a snow cone machine and I was just so happy. I don't know what it was home to, but just staying in a mindset of gratitude. God, I'm so glad I get this snow cone, this place hot, right? But just trying to think about what is it in your life that brings you joy and chase that as much as you can.
That might include avoiding certain people.
And that's true.
That might include avoiding certain people. What makes you happy? Barbados, what makes you happy?
That is not damaging.
That is healthy.
That is not damaging in the long run, and besides money, you know what I mean? So being asking about burning a spliff, being asking about hitting a shot of rum, because when you're talking about things, girl, that damaging, that so deep, and we culture like being a certain age or retiring and getting up in the morning, you know, and go be shopping. Drink some bar around the go there, when check come, shop change the check for you, take over for them and give you back the rest. You know what I mean? Like that a normal staple in the culture. You can get 6 o'clock in the morning and go to so many places and go back there 6 o'clock in the evening, same way you can be drinking. You're seeing that these things damaging, you're seeing certain things alcohol does to the mind for sure. And there's only a certain amount for this period.
Well, the research on
I don't
alcohol.
drink, so this for the drinkers is scarring them. It's burning fat on alcohol.
No, you'll find some research that says, say, like a glass of wine is fine or this thing is fine and
Right,
that's not.
when good for your heart.
But what I'm talking about is
Bibbers.
drinking alcohol
bibbers.
consistently.
Yes.
Feeling like when you wake up, you have to drink alcohol. In fact, there's a measurement. There are questions that it's called a cage questionnaire that you ask like these 4 questions, and if you answer yes to them, then we got a problem. So I remember one being, if you wake up, it's the first thing you think about, how much alcohol you consume, questions like that. But when it becomes obsessive, when you have a problem and the first thing you think, I need to grab a drink, and I need to drink until I numb this feeling, we have a problem. And that's why I talk about that non-negotiable time, and also thinking about what makes you happy, so that your go-to is not something that numbs the emotions, but you're able to engage in self-management.
I guess you can answer, and I was about to ask you if you would apply the same to other drugs too, because some people will tell you, I gotta go and burn something, clear my mind, and then deal with that situation.
And you see, the problem is a lot of research is still ongoing, all right? And for me, I'd say, if you are going to these drugs to calm your emotions, if you're going, and of course I'm talking about marijuana and alcohol, right? And you feel like this is what I need to do every time I have an issue. I can't get through a difficult moment without it. We need to stop and reevaluate it a little bit.
That's a deep topic.
Yeah, that's a big
deep topic.
I know.
Yeah, deep topic because me
some people
personally
tell you it's natural.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean,
that's fine.
But me personally,
But I want you to regulate.
Marijuana is a drug.
But I want you to regulate your emotions by yourself first, is
Naturally.
what I'm saying.
Well, I can't understand naturally because
Right? Be able to say, what can I do for myself that is not a substance, that's not even food, because food could be an addiction too, right? What can I do to bring
joy?
Even things like coffee, you think?
Like,
all these different things.
Because we was talking to be real food, man. We had, you know what I mean? Because we get the term comfort foods.
Right.
And especially lately, especially coming from North America, them terms, passed on here.
Trickle down.
Yeah, so you start hearing terms called like comfort foods all the time. And they did thinking about comfort foods. They thinking about you. It's like, I said, you're gonna relax and eat something. Something ice cream from your fat hit the spot. You know what I mean?
But remember,
But they was telling how damaging these things could be if everything's saying bother me or it's stress or everything's saying a problem and I doing this here and then they calling it, man, they just make comfort food and you hear saying that that's damaging as well.
What I want to bring home is
Go.
you have to be able to one, find out what makes you happy, that's healthy, that isn't you're not using a crutch, you're not using food, you're not using the alcohol, things like that.
Drugs, nothing. No
You're
marijuana,
trying to
nothing.
find natural things. When I say
Yes.
natural things, maybe going to the beach,
Yes.
listening to music,
Having a walk,
that you are in control.
Journaling.
Exactly, because what happens when you
Nothing
can't get
like
that
altering.
substance?
Yeah.
When you can't get whatever
You
it
just
is.
got to depend upon you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you now are in
That when
control.
problems come in.
Right. So to regain your control, what can I do to help myself? And remember, it's about self-management first.
Yes.
What can I do? What are the skills that I have that can help improve my life?
Now listen, bro, you asking me these things, right? You saying these things, Scott. Telling yourself, like, I'm trying to really talk and ask myself these questions, like what to do to help myself just by myself. You know what I mean? I ain't smoking nothing, I ain't drinking nothing, I ain't eating the food, I feel good, you know what I mean? What can I do to help myself? For anything like altering.
But also, how do you talk to yourself is a big one
A
too.
friend of mine always says so many people are afraid of themselves, like spending time just with
themselves. It's true.
It's scary though, Scott. It's scary, especially if you're honest with yourself. If you're honest with yourself, it can be scary because you know what I mean. A lot of things you realize you got correct.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
But not only that, the thing with being with yourself is also, are you afraid of being alone with your thoughts as well? If you're talking to yourself negatively, if you're talking to yourself and you just critical all the time, that's another problem too, right? And so I do understand as well, for many people, you may have grown up in a household where you hear negativity, or you're around people and you're hearing negativity, and so it becomes really difficult. But I really, really want you to try. There's this thing called an affirmation. I am and I feel, and those types of words. Speak to yourself like you love yourself. Speak to yourself like you would talk to somebody that you love. And simple things.
So how we speak to ourselves is important.
Of course.
So you say affirmations do work.
Yeah, if you get up and you say, you know what, I feel like today gonna be a bad day. Somebody pass and in the morning, I hate this unmanly person and hate this and hate that. If I wake up and I say, you know what, no matter what happened, I can just try my best to have a good day.
It is mine.
The person in say morning and you say morning, morning, how you sure you alright? You good? I like this dress you got on or whatever it is. Your mindset, the way you approach life becomes different.
Because you put yourself in that uplifting mood
Exactly.
from the beginning.
But then also trusting your abilities. A lot of times we're limiting ourselves because we put ourselves in a box. I can't do this. I can't apply for this job. I can't try something new. This woman come and say, look and see what will make me happy. I can't be happy. How you talk to yourself is important.
Well, some of you say that thing, this can't do too. It can't be happy at all. It can't be happy at all here. I'm gonna look at all here.
And a lot of shoots after it.
It's normal things in our psyche that you mention carelessly.
And that's why I told you,
that's damaging.
This is about changing your mindset, changing culturally how we do things,
how we think,
and how we talk to ourselves becomes really important. Another part about it is how we affirm each other. When you come in here and you see him, make sure you tell him something. Well, I heard y'all when you come in, but make sure you tell him something good because we don't know what people going through. Exactly. So I heard the exchange.
Every show, at all times.
Remember so you don't know what people going through.
Never.
And my mantra has always been, be kind to self and others. If I leave a room, I have to make sure that at least I've left saying something good to one person. Because you just don't know what people are going through. And so along with talking to yourself positively, talk to others positively, and then watch who you're hanging out with. Because if your mindset and the way you talk to yourself is negative, you cannot be around critical people all the time.
When I hear, always preaching that. I always preach that. When I hear that, it's got some people, it's got to get from around them people. You know what I mean? And it's getting enough messages when they say things like that, but you don't know. Listen to me. A clinical psychologist is here telling you all, explain why that is important. Watching who you hang around, and this is for the old folks that stubborn, that they want to change their ways. I talking now to the youth only, who listening, who love Uncle. Explain why that is so important.
We feed off of each other, right? I can talk about the biology first. When I was in school, I learned about something called mirror neurons. And there was this example. If somebody outside doing hard work, there's a part of your brain that is the part of that person's brain that working it working in you too. So you know, like when somebody outside working, you just feel, gosh, I feel real tired, and you just watching the person.
Mhm.
Now, if my brain could almost match watching somebody else, what could happen if I hanging around people who negative?
Tell you.
But then also we think about this thing
Tell
called
you.
vicarious learning.
Yes.
I watch you and I do what you do.
Yes.
Right? And so if I am around somebody who constantly negative, who's constantly critical, who can't be happy for me, I am going to start to adopt a lot of what I am seeing and feeling, even on a biological level. And that's scary, you know. I start to watch who I hang around with, you know.
Mhm.
And sometimes it don't mean you ghosting the person. You could talk to the person and say, you know, I notice sometimes I just want to encourage you. I mean, I ghosting you.
Mhm.
But also think about if you are in a state of, you know, you're feeling a little depressed. So not depression, you're feeling a little depressed. What you need, and when we ask ourselves, what do I need right now? You don't need to be around somebody who's going to bring you down. You want to be around somebody who's going to push you toward a goal. Choosing who you hang out with can make or break you.
People who uplift.
It gotta be people who uplift,
Mhm.
people who encourage your goals.
Mhm.
So when you feel like I can't do this, you got and your mind saying you can't do this, you got a friend saying, you could do this. I know you could do it.
Mhm.
Keep going. And when you hear successful people talk as well, you hear about this person that they look up to.
As we were saying, I was talking anybody that's gas you up.
Exactly.
To do good things though.
Yeah.
not
Exactly.
negativity.
Exactly. So
Listen,
who
this
you hang out
convo is a
with.
sweet one. As usual with the NTI Midweek Mindset, it could continue forever, but we are 12 after 4. We can't
I'm
move
sorry,
it.
I'm
It's
sorry.
worse into this.
Sorry, nah, don't be sorry. It don't take no responsibility, man. Because absolutely not your fault.
This is normal for this show,
Yeah,
trust me.
and I absolutely love it. You give you some game today. Who the youngsters listening and realize who you're hanging out with is important. And I'm sure most of you young people know that, but you know, it's just sad that somebody learn that you have it.
Mhm.
Because let me be the wrong boys cost man. I know a man that wasn't like that.
Mhm.
But let me be the wrong man in jail for 30 years now.
Mhm.
You know me, some man lost their life,
Mhm.
some man get killed, some man family get killed. You know man, for let me with the wrong body caused them father to get killed.
Just off the comment they were kicking.
I mean the barbados, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean the barbados, the people that live around me, people that I see. You know what I mean? So like we were saying they're so real on a deeper level. And main thing we mentioned about the example you got, you know, about mirror on the wrong and so on. And then you said we learn vicariously through each other. That is so real. So I know you learn things from people not even really get it from. So I will say a saying or do saying or be a certain way. And not realize where you get it from. You know what I mean? Like certain way they have conversations like my dad, like obviously his mind is strong. But certain is why he get to certain topics, you know, it called a scar. So like but me know it only realized it like 3 years after. But then so you go say about 10 years off and all. So you know like certain ways that would ask questions, certain ways that would be certain ways that would deal with my phone and because he but we're not related to long after.
Yeah, because your eyes are watching him,
Mhm.
your brain is working and imprinting everything that you
Without
see
constantly learning.
without realizing.
You know what I mean? And me, you know, if you know, everybody knows, like, if you, I fairly proud, you know what I mean? I fairly mature, so you feel that nobody can program me. You know that who I am. But then me say, but yo, I
Everybody's
pick it up with
programmable.
friend man and even realize,
Yeah.
Scott, it
Yeah.
let me realize that everybody programmable.
Mhm.
Like, that is so really appreciate you for coming
Yeah.
through today. And trust me, Scott, I'm gonna ask the questions till tomorrow morning.
That's fine.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
I gotta check in on if y'all doing y'all non-negotiable hour.
Yeah, nah, that's
Listen, this list of guests that we need to repeat getting real long here and
Yeah, I mean, like,
we need to work on this list.
it just know like before we go, all this goes to show right is what we focus on, man. You get me? Like they got so many outstanding Barbadians that pushing certain messages that are so important to us. It just showing me, you know me, that the conversations we have could be better, the people we highlight could be better, the persons we highlight could be better because like Scott just said, the amount of guests that we need to repeat, you can't call the list and everyone teaching you something different and outstanding one right. Having a conversation with today where it make me tell myself, I dedicate an hour, a half hour to myself today. No, what time it's going to late already and I dedicate half and I had it in my plans. If you didn't come, just being real with you, I would do this here, you know, when you leave here, then is your level foundation to do some more work with some young people. Then when leave there, my God's Zoom meeting with some young people that are doing a showcase in Canada, you get me? And then when that day done, now is sleep for work tomorrow, National Peace Program. that was my plans, you know, it being transparent right
Yeah.
here. If you didn't mention that, I would never take that, so
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, I would never study that stuff if you didn't know tell myself it's important because you say it can make you not maximize on your potential and it will reach my full potential. I don't know
There
about
we
you,
go.
I don't know about Scott, I don't know who listening.
For
But
sure.
I would love in life, right? NTI, I would love in life that at least I give myself the chance to reach my fullest potential though. Everybody should feel that they deserve that.
You
You know what I
do.
mean? I done
For
joke
sure.
call. You making me feel like in therapy now. But mom, I appreciate you coming on here. I appreciate you being honest with us. I appreciate you taking time out to teach us. And I hope that you continue pushing this message, and I hope that Barbara is listening to a person like yourself, and I hope that you get many more platforms to share messages like these because self-care is important among everyone, but especially among boys. It's termed that is feel girly, that only girl is your self-care, you know what I mean? That's a girl term.
Mhm.
Like being real with you.
No, it's true.
We so stupid. When it's a mean. We are so stupid in the mind that self-care is a girly term.
Mhm.
That time is something that we most certainly should do. If you don't take care of yourself, how you can help somebody else?
It's true.
My bigger yourself will coming true. Maximum respect, Scott the Rock. Enough love, you know what I mean? Great show again, boy. The list long, Scott.
Very.
You're about the ninth person now, and 9 people repeating that and then do a new guest that ain't come for the first thing yet. This is crazy. NTI.org.bb, you know what I mean? Big ups to everybody locked on and messaging. I'm loving the vibes. Over 5,000 free courses. This is your boy Uncle Sluggy. I'm out.
To equip every nation with the knowledge and skills.
We talk forever, yeah.
I know.